Welcome back to the Treehouse Mates. Old Head Gaming here, and it is
Evil Dead Thursday.
That's right. We are 22 days away from the launch of Evil Dead the game. In today's video, we are going to break down everything you need to know based on the information that's available at this time on who you should play at launch if you're going to play a survivor. And of course, if you like the content, please drop a like and a comment below. I do answer all my comments, and I do take suggestions for future videos as we make our march towards Friday the 13th. And we've made 2 viewer requested videos already and dropped one yesterday on how Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell would work in the season pass. Now, of course, smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way you know when we drop all the Evil Dead content. If you're looking for a community to be playing with come launch time, I'll put the Discord in the link below. Just comp on there and say, hey, I'm joining because I want to play Evil Dead with people. And to start the video, we're going to take a look at this 30-second survivor screen. When you load in what you're going to be able to play, who you're going to be able to choose, I want you to see all the character models so you have a vision in your eye what you're leaning towards when the game launches. Now, if you want a full breakdown of what was revealed in the Game Informer video, the link is in the description from that video I dropped on Sunday. Now, we're going to touch on the classes afterwards and what they're capable of, but here is what we got. In the leader class, we get Ash versus Evil Dead Ash. He skipped over Annie Nobi. I don't know if he can not play her or not. I wasn't sure she was in the game, but she was just announced. You have Lord Arthur. And the warrior class, you get Army of Darkness's Ash. You get Henry the Red Ann. You get Scotty from Evil Dead 1. In the hunter class, you get Kelly and Amanda Fisher from Ash versus the Evil Dead. You have Ed Getley and Ash from Evil Dead 2. And then finally, the support class, you get Evil Dead 1 Ash and his sister Cheryl Williams from Evil Dead 1 and Pablo from Ash versus the Evil Dead. Now, I'm going to break down each grouping based on order from least likely you're going to play them at launch, not main them throughout the game, but at launch. And here's why. Number 4. I think you're least likely to play Leader. Now, Leader has some interesting components. It does have an increased shield, so they do take a little more damage, a little more tanky. But the most unique ability of the Leader is AoE effects. And if you're not familiar with AoE effects, it's area of effect. You basically have an aura around you, a circle, a sphere, and probably invisible. I mean, there could be actual visions, but I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that. But when you're standing in there, you have certain abilities based on the character and the build of that leader, such as damage reduction, so you get hit softer, damage output increase, so you hit your demons harder, stuff like fear reduction, so your fear bar grows slower, or even shield increase, so your shield returns faster after taking hits. And I think it's going to be a more complicated class to play. I feel like a lot of people at first will not be wanting to be focused so much on what their team is doing, as there's a lot going on, and this is a much more active style of playing Survivor. So I think Leader will probably be the least played to start. I think the third most likely to be played is the support class, and people who naturally gravitate to healers will be found here. Now, the support class can create shields, they can gain health or reduce fear, they can also have bonus to consumables, both collecting and starting with, and some of them have even had stuff like Cheryl has an AoE heal. Now, these are going to be a softer version of the Leader. They're going to be able to go specifically to a character and apply these type of effects versus everyone coming to the Leader. So you have a different kind of reaction. The Leader is very passive. People come in and get inside that orb, while the support class is going to other characters to boost them, heal them, revive them, whatever. Now, number 2, it's kind of hard to say. I think people are going to slightly lean the other way, but number 2 is going to be the warrior class. Now, the warrior class is your classic melee-based combat. Now, the cool thing about the warrior class is they do get health based on finishers, and they have higher health. So you get perks for close combat. The more you're fighting in their grill, the more you benefit. Now, of course, all your warriors still have the ability to use guns, because that is not something that is exclusive to hunters, but you get more bonuses for being up close and personal, and activating your executions are critical on boosting your perks and your output. The ability to boost crit damage based on execution. So there's some really cool stuff there. It's a really cool class. There's some really good characters there. You have Army of Darkness Ash, which means you're going to have a Chainsaw Hand Ash to do executions, which is really cool. I think a lot of people will really love being able to fight demons up close and personal. Now, finally, I think the most played class coming out of the gate is going to be the Hunter class. Now, the Hunter class is your range DPS, and most likely, this is just a guess, anytime a game launches when there's a melee and a range DPS class, the range DPS tends to be harder hitting coming out until there's balances. So you're probably going to get more damage per second on a hunter than you will on a warrior. Now, they also have some additional bonuses, like they can carry more ammo than everyone else. They have skills that are based around finding ammo. So like you can have an ability to see ammo on the map and then of course get it for yourself or have it for your teammates who might be low in ammo as well. They also have the ability to find additional and higher level loot, which is a weird component for hunters, but I guess it's kind of like that mentality, like they're the universal scavengers. They're taking stuff to use inside the battle. And I think they're going to be probably the most popular class for quite some time. Now, looking at this in a grand scheme of things, I think the best grouping is probably one of each class. Although I feel like you could be fine with one leader, one survivor, and then any mix of the DPS classes. I feel if you're fine if you have 2 hunters versus 2 warriors or a mix of the both. And I think we're going to see a lot of people naturally gravitating to a particular role. Now, if you're playing with a group and you kind of can fit right in, it's going to be very easy for you to kind of find that role and be able to excel at building that particular character within the class you've chosen. Now, I feel that demons are going to have a slower start and a harder learning curve coming out of the gate. So in the beginning, I feel like if you end up in a group with 4 hunters, it's probably not going to matter. It's just do as much DPS as you possibly can and be fine. But as the game evolves out of the first week or two and it starts to get into a point where people understand how to play and are excelling at their classes, you're going to see the people who can't play without just being a DPS or just playing in large groups of DPS people probably fall behind versus the groups that can play together. And unlike a game like DBD where you kind of build your individual character with whatever perks you want, this seems to be more based on role play and start to excel within that class. So if you are, say, a warrior main, you know how to do the ins and outs of your melee DPS, and that is your role. You tank during the phase 2 waves, you bring the damage during phase 3 to the bosses. That is who you are. Now, if you're a leader, you know how to manage the group and how to keep everyone together so that way you can keep them buffed while you are also dealing your own damage. And so I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve for people that it doesn't exist in some of the other asymmetrical PvPs, how refined the roles seem to be coming out of the gate. In the next Thursday video, we'll do a deep dive on Kandarian demons. Of course, we'll be doing other stuff before them and in between as we keep getting closer and closer to Friday the 13th. As always, thank you for watching and later, mates.